Wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. Check, we Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops, they find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Miggy for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase. Yeah. Bubba C. Yeah. Ric Flairing on them. Ric Flairing on them. Ric Flairing on them. Ric Flairing, son up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap if the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeant is with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
Man, we coming back to back. Happy Thursday out there for all the people out there in YouTube land. I appreciate you guys for tuning in for today. Listen, you already know what it is. I am a parent full time, so I have to do my shows mostly in the midday. All right, because of my daughter be sleeping and stuff like that, and I can slide it in, slide out, you know what I'm saying, and get back to being a full-time parent. All right, listen, today is a very, very, very touchy topic, right? Very touchy topic, which I love. I love controversy. I love a little hot stove, all right? Let me say this. I do not give opinions for the masses. I'm going to say that again. You will never catch me if I don't truly have a fit. Like, I won't ever just ride with the crowd. That's just not how I get down, right? There's a lot of other people out there, I won't say no names, right, that just agree with people because they know, well, one, they don't have a real opinion, and two, they know they're going to get more views and clicks and likes because they agree with the masses. That ain't me. That is never going to be me. So my opinion on the subject, like it or love it, is my opinion. So how I discuss this is just how my brain works and how it operates. Right? It just at the end of the day, that's just how it works. So make sure you stay tuned and watch the whole video because it's the last topic of the day. All right. So I'll probably have some timestamps. So if you just want to skip towards the Dez Bryant thing on the replay, you can most likely do that. The timestamps will be below. But there are some topics I want to touch before we get into the Dez Bryant thing. So it just is what it is. So let's get into it. Now, tell the truth Thursday. You like the alliteration? I know you like that. I know you like the alliteration. All my English majors out there. Yeah, I try. You know, listen, I hate English, but I do a little something. A little alliteration, you know what I'm saying? Tell the truth Thursday. Okay, anyway. Sorry, allergies acting up. You know how we black people are. Anyway. So that's the main topic. We're going to talk about that later into the show. But I got a few things I want to touch on before we get there, right? It wouldn't be me if I ain't got a little nuggets in between, right? So there is a new topic. It is called Think It Through, okay? Think it through. Because a lot of you Bamas, y'all Bamas don't be thinking. Y'all Bamas don't be thinking. But I'm here to tell you, right? Think it through. It's the week of Think It Through, okay? Before you go out in social media, think it through, okay? That's for Dez. That's for this Bama. That's for a lot of people. Think it through, okay? Just you know, sometimes you just want to bounce that off of somebody else other than yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just like, do you think I should say this? I don't think I should say this. I'm going to ask somebody, do they think I should say this, right? Well, then you get people like me who they find you slipping, and now we talking about you. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is what we do on Thursday. So let's get into it on Think It Through Thursday, right? So Chris Ballard, a former Alcorn player, right? Number 99, Chris Ballard. He gets on Twitter and says, this is what he says. He says, I just want Alcorn to release me instead of didn't spell being right, being petty because of a school they want to beat so bad. Now, I don't know if it's beat up HBCU week. I didn't get that memo because I would have jumped right in head first if that's what we doing. You know what I'm saying? I throw my little nuggets in there since that's what we doing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know it was, bash HBCU week. You know what I'm saying? You know, I throw a little jab in there. Ha, ha, ha. You know what I'm saying? Little long distance jab. Ha, you know what I'm saying? So that's what he says. But the part about Think It Through is people gonna come with receipts. Okay? That's the beauty about Think It Through. People gonna meet you where you at. So an Alcorn alum, he then responds and says, hey, bruh, Listen, when you say "hey, bruh," listen, "hey, bruh" can mean a lot of things in the black culture, right? "Hey, bruh" can be like, "yo, you bumped into me," like, "hey, bruh." You know what I'm saying? "Hey, bruh" can be like, "yo, I haven't seen." "Hey, bruh," you know what I'm saying? It can mean a lot of things in the black culture, right? A lot of our words mean a lot of things. You know, bad mean good. You know what I'm saying? So, but this "hey, bruh" is like, "Hey, bruh," like, what did you just say? Like, hey, bro, what are you talking about? Right? So he says, "Hey, bro, don't come on here lying." He said, "Don't come on here lying. You got caught running a drug operation on campus." This can't be no better than think it through. You gotta think stuff through. He said, "You got caught running a drug operation on campus, and yes, you were dropped from your classes. Ain't no such thing as releasing you." Oh, man. "Ain't no such thing as releasing you. Can't believe you would do this after we tried to help you." Wow. Let me just say, when I tell you I was crying the first time I read this, listen, man, let this just be a lesson to a lot of people. Watch what you say. Think it through. Somebody is going to have a receipt, okay? Please, Lord Jesus, think it through. This Bama Chris got on here talking hella slick. "Yo, I just want Alcorn to release me." Kevin said, "Release you? Nigga, you should be in jail." He said, "Ninja, you need to worry about getting your bond money together. Get your bail money together. You talking about some release you? Hey, a letter of intent should be the last thing on your mind. You need to be getting a lawyer, my boy. This man said you was running a whole drug operation. Come on, what are we talking about? Bro, when I tell you, listen, when I tell you. Now, if you go up on his Twitter, oh, it's gone. Okay, this tweet is gone. Okay? It is gone. This tweet is no more. Because listen, you just gotta think. Listen, I have never labeled a section so perfectly. Think it through, okay? Think it through. Oh my God, man. Shoe program, 23-hour lockdown. Man, you Pelican Bay when I get through with you. You talking about release? You talking about release? Who said course correct? Oh, man, not Tyreek. He been watching too much Power. That man said course correct. Oh my God, boy, you Bamas are on. Y'all Bamas tripping today. But yeah, man. So listen, that man said course correct. Oh man, listen, Kevin. Somebody from Alcorn got to give my man Kevin the ultimate alumni gift. Like, if there's an Alum of the Year award, somebody got to give it to Kevin, okay? Somebody got to make up an award and hand it to Kevin, because this Bama deserves the Alum of the Year. You talking about a read? You talking about getting read? And if you're white, okay, okay, let me slow it down. If you're a white person or from the Caucasus Mountains and you don't understand what red means, right? In the red, when black people say you have been read, it's like you have been exposed, you have been told about yourself, you know? Okay, if you don't understand that, that means somebody just said the word, like they told the worst stuff about you. Like they put everything on Front Street. If you don't know what Front Street means, listen, I can't help you no more. Okay, all I know is slang. I'm talking in slang. So as the black people, they understand everything I just said. If you are from the Caucasus Mountains and you don't get it, I can't help you no further. That's all I got. Right? But this is the ultimate read. Okay, the ultimate read. The Bama needs to be in the alum of the year. If there's a HBCU alum Hall of Fame, he needs to be in it because he absolutely did his due diligence to the. That Bama said, "Hey, bro, don't come up with." it's like somebody taking the stage. You be like, "Hey, man, don't come up here lying, bro." Like Twitter is a real place, even though it's in the internet. It's like a stage set for everybody to see you. And that man said, "Hey, bro, don't come up here lying." I love black people, man. I swear to God, I love black people. Oh, that man said, you got caught running a drug operation on campus and you were dropped from your classes. Ain't no such thing as releasing you. Oh, man, that when I tell you that made my day. Shout out to whoever. Shout out to the person that sent me this. I'm not gonna put their name on there because I don't want them to get, you know what I'm saying. But shout out to the person that sent me this. I thought that was pure comedy. Jesus Christ, it was pure comedy. All right, moving on. Right, think it through. Now it wouldn't be an off-script show if I didn't have something to say about the SWAC office. Now I know you guys are looking at this equation. And you like, Scotty, what in the hell did this? Oh my God. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. Lord, forgive me. Oh Jesus, forgive me. All right. I know you guys are looking at this equation and you're saying, Scotty, what in the hell are you talking about? Now, the reason I have this equation the way that I have it, because one, my mind is just, it's a very crazy person. Like my mind just has like a circus inside of it and it's just dancing bears all day. And I'm just a super creative person, right? So I said HBCU go and SWAC equals stars, right? Now, you might say, well, Scotty, Stars is a very popular program. Where I look at is this, right? When I say they remind me of Stars, is like Stars is that subscription that you didn't know you had until they charge you. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know Apple Music is always going to come out at the wrong time of the month. You know Netflix is going to come out. You know you got your Amazon. You know you got a lot of stuff. But Stars is that subscription. You be like, after power go off, you like, damn, I still got that. Damn, they still charging me. They still paying for. I'm still paying for that because you got it because of power. And once power gets off, you like, damn, like I still got that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, I still got that. So that when I think of HBCU go and SWAC, I'm like the SWAC does have HBCU go. Why aren't HBCU go broadcasting these games, right? Because I look at it like this. Let me give you an example, right? The softball championships. Now, if HBCU go is supposed to be, listen to me now, if HBCU go is supposed to be the SWAC network, why are you playing this championship game on your whack-ass SWAC digital network? You get what I'm saying? Do you not? Is anybody not? See, you guys make so much excuses for the SWAC. That's why you guys don't ever hold people accountable, right? Because I ask you this. What was the point? It's either one way or the other. HBCU Go just bought everything and don't show a damn thing, right? Or the SWAC doesn't hold HBCU Go accountable to show anything. One or the other. One or the other. But there's some, listen, this is what makes it worse, right? HBCU Go is not an entity that can be in multiple places, right? They can't be in like 3 or 4 places at once. They are very small. So the SWAC championship is at a central location, I believe in Birmingham. So all HBCU Go has to do is take their ass to Birmingham and broadcast the game. So if you were going to do this, my question is, why did you sell salt? I don't understand. It's either, like I said, it's either one or two things. You either ask HBCU Go, what was the point of buying all the sports if you weren't going to show them? Or you ask the SWAC, what was the point of selling all the sports if you weren't going to make HBCU Go show it? I need answers. What is the point of a secondary rights deal if the secondary rights deal don't put nothing else but football and a little bit of basketball on TV? I don't get it. I don't get it. And then on top of everything, the SWAC does such a horrible ass job of promoting the jank. Right? I didn't know there was even a softball championship game on the SWAC digital network. That's number one. Number two, they so lame, they don't even open up the live chat so people can talk to one another. Alabama State be having like a 1990 live stream. At least they let the live chat go so you can communicate with people. So you can talk trash. Like, that's the best part. If I was watching Texas Southern versus Bethune-Cookman, well, if you was from one of the schools, you'll be able to talk trash. That should be a benefit. That should be a plus that you put your stuff on YouTube. But no, horrible ass Andrew Roberts, horrible ass commissioner, they don't understand the community. Why do you think the Rough and the SWAC group, even though them janks are just, they are, whew. Why do you think the Rough and the SWAC group and SWAC Sports Centrals, why do you think those groups do so well? It's because they have a central place to locate to talk trash. Well, not the trash that they do talk, that's something totally different. But you give people the opportunity to do that. That's why you open up the live chats. That's why you do that. And then you just block people accordingly. If they get out of line, you put a little blurb message and say, hey, please limit all profanity. Once you see profanity, you block them. Simple. Very simple. You have a communications person. Do his damn job. Anyway, that would be me giving advice to the SWAC as always, and they never follow it, which they never do. But to each his own. But I don't understand. Oh yeah. Y'all sold everything. Softball, basketball, football, all sports, 2,000 events. Go look at the article. Go look up the article. Okay? Check it out. You sold them everything. And they don't show nothing. So that's just my little 2 cents. It wasn't just football and basketball. It was everything. All right. It was cross country, cross mitten, badminton, volleyball, marbles, everything. Everything gone. You have no inventory. Okay. You have none. So it is what it is. Now, we know what you guys came for. We know what you're here for. You're here for one thing and one thing. You're here for the Dez Bryant. And listen, it is what it is. This is the deadly tweet, right? This is the deadly tweet that Dez Bryant. If you didn't know, if you're not on Twitter, if you don't know, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to lie. When I saw the tweet, I was like this.
You done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
When you know, listen, I've been around HBCU people long enough to know once you step your foot into that boat, you got to be very careful because you could drown really quickly. And a lot of HBCU people are. They be so deep.
So deep in my feelings.
They be so deep. They be so run it back, Ella.
Feelings.
Oh,
So deep in my feelings.
they be so into they feel. Oh my God. Emotional has nothing to say. They really deep in their feelings. So Dez Bryant says, in order for a HBCU to thrive, you are going to have to throw these colleges, let me blow it up a little bigger, into these big conferences like the Big 12, Pac-12, SEC, and allow these colleges to get better over time. Let's keep it real. Now, let me say this before I get going. Dez Bryant is not a philosopher. Dez Bryant is not a researcher. Dez Bryant is not Dr. Dez Bryant. Do you know what Dez Bryant is? Dez Bryant is a football player. So what could he have possibly be talking about other than sports? That is my issue. Now, does he mention sports in here? No, that could have been his downfall. But the Bama is not a philosopher. He played football. He is talking about sports. Now, my question to you all, because this is what gets me about HBCU alums. It's the selective outrage for me. Okay? It's the selective outrage for me. And you know me, I'm going to open the call lines up if you want to call in. 518-263-8124, 518-263-8124. Right? So, let me ask you this. And if you want to see the call line number, if you don't know it, you can put it in the description below.
You are the only participant in the conference. All participants are muted.
Right? So let me say this. If you want to know the call-in number, it's on the little ticker right there. Anyway, it's the selective outrage for me because I asked you, reading this and knowing Dez Bryant is a football player who is talking about sports, what is the difference? What is, other than Dez Bryant not talking about a sport, he not saying sports, what is the difference between this tweet by HBCU Nightly and Dez Bryant's tweet? HBCU chancellors, y'all need to talk to each other right now. Figure out how many of y'all can come together and go to FBS together now. What? Is that not the same shit? Let's go back. In order for an HBCU to thrive, you're going to have these colleges to get into big conferences like Big 12, Pac-12, SEC. Allow these colleges to get better over time. Let's keep it real. HBCU presidents, y'all need to talk to each other right now. Figure out how many of y'all can come together and go ahead. What is the difference? What is the difference? He didn't get canceled for this. Like, it boggles my mind how you guys treat outsiders compared to insiders. I will give it to you. Josh is an HBCU ambassador like no other. I love his platform with HBCU Nightly. I love what they do. I learn a lot when I get on there. But let's keep it a buck. This is no different than what Dez Bryant said, other than saying a sport. That's it. It's crazy to me how he got bashed because of this. It's amazing to me. Because, well, Josh doesn't call him Power 5. So that Josh does not call him Power 5. That's the difference. Josh doesn't call him Power 5. Dez Bryant does. So that's a nuance. You have to know Josh to know what he's saying. But even FBS can mean Power 5. It doesn't just have to be Group of 5. So that's a nuance. That's semantics. It's still the same. It is literally the same. FBS and Power 5 are the same. Is Power 5 not FBS? Is FBS not Power 5? So now are we pulling HBCUs a FCS? That's the same thing. That's the same logic. If we talking logic, that's the same logic. Oh, HBCUs ain't FCS. No, they are. But let's continue. That is my only issue with this, right? And then Dez Bryant also goes on to say, we talking about sports. Let's stay on topic. That he also goes on to say that as well. So once again, I think what got him in trouble was thriving. I do believe that word, as the guy points out, thriving, I believe got him in trouble, right? Because he didn't say thriving in sports. He said thriving. So what do HBCU alums turn to? They turn to, well, we graduate the most black professionals, and we do this, and we've been around for over 200 years. And he like, yo, bump on it. I'm not talking about that. Because once again, Dez Bryant don't know shit about that. He is a football player. He is a football player. He is a football player. So what do you think he's talking about? Football. Having Dez Bryant talk about something other than football is like, hey, whoa, what are you doing, sir? No. Right? So in essence of what Dez Bryant says, if this is cool, so is Dez Bryant's tweet. So is Dez Bryant's tweet. If this is cool, if this is okay, because the same energy that y'all give this and saying, oh, yeah, Josh, that was real innovative. Oh, yeah, HBCU nightly. Oh, that's the way to think outside the box. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. Go, Josh. It's no different than what Dez Bryant is saying. Is like, hey, you would thrive more in a Power 5 conference. And it's real funny to me. What's even funnier is wasn't the school that should not be named just a few months ago talking about how Deion was going to make them move? How it was important for them to move up? How it was so important for them that they were going to be in Conference USA, how they were going to try to go to the Big 12. It's really funny to me how just 6 to 7 months ago, they thought they were going to the Big 12. Oh, Deion's taking us to the promised land. Oh, we're good enough to play with Alabama. Give Deion another recruiting class, and we'll be right up there with the Iowa. Who cares about Iowa State? We could beat Iowa State. We don't need to go to North Dakota State. We could beat North Dakota State. We can be in a bowl game. So let's not play this game. That is the only thing that kills me, is the selective outrage that people decide to have over Twitter because he's considered an outsider and doesn't know HBCUs. But the opinion is no different than what Josh spoke of. They both have validity. They both have validity in what they're saying. Josh is saying, listen, we've been making excuses for a long time of why we can't move up. Let's get the right documentation together and let's do what we can do to move up together. Dez Bryant is saying, hey, you guys would do a lot better if you went to a Power 5 conference. What is the damn difference? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just a person who said it. One person you know is an HBCU advocate, and the other person is Dez Bryant, who went to a PWI. Now, I'm going to say this. It got pretty pretentious in the Twitter, right? The back and forth, all the extra stuff that happened, it got pretty pretentious. And my issue is this, right? And I said this on HBCU Nightly. There is never a win-win when you're arguing with a female over Twitter as a man, right? So Dez Bryant has to know, first of all, you don't know how rambunctious HBCU alums can be when it comes to protecting their schools, right? Because they come together like the Avengers and be like, oh, with our powers combined, we are Captain Save a HBCU, right? It's like all the black and all the Africa colors come together and they become, put the pieces together, all HBCU become Captain HBCU Planet, right? So, and everybody attacks you, but there's no winning when you argue with a female. And I'll say this. I will say this. Everybody was getting on Dez Bryant about what he was saying to the females, but at the same time, nobody was ever holding these females accountable for what they were saying to Dez Bryant, right? Because respect, I always look at respect as a two-way street, right? But men are just supposed to know that you're not supposed to say stuff back to a female, but the females, and that's what females do. And let's keep it a buck. Females love to start stuff because they know anything you respond to is you're going to be considered the B word. Oh, yeah, he got bitch tendencies and da-da-da-da because he responded to me and he think he this. It's a bad play. So women have that play, right? You see it in the SWAT groups. You see it in Twitter. Women have that. A lot of black women especially have that problem to where they feel like they can come at a man very disrespectfully and he's just supposed to take it and not say anything back to you. Right? So I want to be very clear. What a lot of those black women said to him was very disrespectful, and he met them with disrespect. But at the end of the day, right, men are always going to lose that battle. So Dez Bryant has to know that he has to just keep moving. He can't win that battle. Right? So that's just my little 2 cents on that. All right, moving on. Right? I will stand on this. I will stand on this. And this is one hill I would die on. This is one hill I would die on. The way HBCUs treat outsiders will always hinder your growth. I will die on that hill. I do not care. I don't care who tells me otherwise. I'm telling you right now, the way you treat outsiders will hinder your growth. And the reason is because you ask for all this attention and then you get mad about everybody's opinion, right? Like that's the stuff that kills me, right? Because you'll come on here and say, well, Scotty, they should just know and they need to say this and they need to. No, people say ignorant statements. It's the freedom of speech that they have. You have the freedom to correct. That is your freedom as well. But you cannot ask for more spotlight and then get mad at the opinions and statements that come of it. It just don't work that way, right? Because even when Deion first touched down, and I got the most, right? You can't control that. You can't control that. That's the thing when it comes from, because it's life, right? In life, you can't control that. That is my issue. You can always correct, but you can't get mad because you can't control their opinion, right? Doesn't matter how much you explain something to somebody. If they feel that you can't compete or they feel that you don't do this or you don't do that, that is their right to have that opinion, no matter how many times you correct them. And that is the dysfunction that a lot of HBCU alums, in my opinion, they disconnect from. They don't have an understanding of. Is because once Deion stepped in, right, and he brought the spotlight and attention. So now you got people outside of the norm that are looking into what you're doing. So they're going to have a different perspective, including myself, right? I was open to learning new things. I was open to opinions. I was open to HBCU problems, but not everybody's going to be open to that. And not everybody is going to agree with what is going on. But you can't dismiss everybody who doesn't agree with you. That ain't life. And that's how you guys act. Is if it's like, oh, you don't agree with us? You don't agree that we've been underfunded? Don't come down here. Like, bro, like what? Like, your money is still green. Like, what are you talking about? If you want to come to a game and talk shit, cool. Your money is still green. If you want to put us on television and say that our football is bad, okay. What? I mean, it ain't no different than any other spotlight or program getting talked about. it just had like at some point you have to you might not agree, but you have to understand that people come with opinions, right? And that you might not have to accept the ignorance, right? But you have to understand it. You have to understand it. It's no different. The way, okay, I look at it like this, and you guys can disagree with me. I look at HBCUs as the black versions of MAGA, right? Because if we're being honest, when Dion was here, Dion couldn't do no wrong. It was a blind loyalty, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. It was a blind loyalty. And I think there, in some cases, HBCU alums have that same blind loyalty of just whatever an HBCU does is right because it's my HBCU. And to a certain extent, I understand it. To a certain extent, I disagree with it. Because you also have to be the same person that can be critical and have correction. But at the same time, right, you have to be able to, you have to be open to criticism. Good, bad, and indifferent, because all criticism is not going to further you, but some criticism will make you change, right? Some people like, okay, give a good example. Mr. Campbell, right? Mr. Campbell is a good friend, close friend, right? When I first started my channel, you know what I'm saying? He gave me critiques. Did I agree with all the critiques? No, because at a part, I'm like, you're not going to change who I am. But there are some things that he said that I'm just like, yeah, that makes sense. I can change that. You know what I'm saying? I can change that about myself. And the other stuff, I'm like, no, I'm going to leave that to the side. And there's a lot of people who have critiqued me and jumped on here and said, Scotty, you're a hater. Doesn't mean I'm going to change who I am. I feel the way I feel, right? And the same way I tell people that they can unfollow me and leave me is the same way HBCU people can say, you don't have to watch us. It's not for you. It's not your cup of tea. It doesn't mean that you got to bash everybody and swing your bat left and right at everybody and everything. Right? Some things are just hitting gems. And if you don't know, you don't know. It's no different than if you're from a local area and there's a hole in the wall spot that you like, yo, it's fire, bro. You got to go. You're like, hey, that ain't my really cup of tea. I don't know what I could be missing out on. Right? I could be like, man, I don't do hole in the wall spots, man. The chairs be messed up. The food don't be right. You know, they got flies flying around. And that could be the total opposite of what this hole in the wall spot is. Does not mean that will stop you from going. My opinion on it will not stop you from enjoying the food. You just take it and you roll with it. All right, man, that's you. Or what HBCU alums do, what do? Nah, man, I'm telling you, Scotty. You got some HBCU alums, that's how they do, right? Hey, nah, listen, Scotty, I'm telling you, man. The food is clean. The chef's clean, man. I'm telling you, the chairs, it's a great environment. I mean, I'm talking about like the best environment you can be on. And I can still be like, nah. And then you have other HBCU alums, and man, you don't know shit. You don't know. Did you know most restaurants were hole in the wall spots? You ain't know that, did you? You didn't know that most black people had to build it just to make a hole in the wall spot. See, you don't know that most hole in the wall restaurants are the ones feeding America. You didn't know that because you ignorant. You dumb. You think you know, but you don't know. And it's like the way you're coming at me is not going to make me agree with your opinion. It's not. Don't matter how aggressive you get or how big and bad you feel you are, it's not going to make me agree with your point any more or less. But those are the two sides that you have to pick from. How are you going to approach people that do not agree with your point? And coming at them disrespectfully and bashing them and telling them they're ignorant and all this is not always the best benefit, because what it's going to do is turn them off even more about even trying. All you can do is talk about all I tell people to do every time, and y'all guys know me, I say, talk about the culture. Talk about the stuff that nobody can compete with, which is the band, the atmosphere, the people in the stands, all your people being in the stands. There's nothing like that feeling looking up. I don't give a damn if you go to Alabama or Florida. There's nothing like being a black man or woman looking up in the stands and seeing 40 to 30,000 of your own people all dancing to Frankly Beverly and Mace. It's not the same. And I don't have to bash you and beat you over the head to enjoy it. You either like it or you won't. Sometimes it ain't even about the football. You can watch the football, but if you look in the stands and everybody jamming to hey, whoa, everybody jamming, and you like, oh, it's like a Baptist church up in this joint. We getting down. They don't do that in Alabama. Go watch a FAMU clip of DJ Loose Kid. Right, left, right, left. I'm on hypnotic, exotic, that polo on my body. It's not the same. I don't have to bash you to let you know you don't have this. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, to me, listen, you can protect your stuff how you want to protect it, but I'm telling you, I'm going to die on this hill. The way you treat outsiders will hinder your growth. It's just that simple. 58.99 coming to you.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty?
What's up, man?
I don't think HBCUs have a right to defend HBCUs from outsiders. It's not going to hinder growth. They're not giving us anything anyway. Dez Bryant probably never gave HBCU nothing. Most of those guys go to those PWIs, a couple of best athletes. They don't get back to the HBCUs. They think that's lowering their standards. And the hindering growth comes within anyway from the black presidents. They ain't controlled by outside influence. So either way, we're not going to win. We just have to, as alumni and non-alumni, we just have to give back to the HBCUs to combat this energy like Dez Bryant got for our HBCUs and a lot of black athletes. They don't even come to the game. I'm right here in Baton Rouge. LSU athletes dares don't cross the line, come on the other side of town to HBCUs. They tell them, stay from over there. That's where the niggas at. You know, so that's all I got to say, man.
But, okay, let me say this, right? There is this is what I can't stand about HBCU alums. You guys separate like life and your school aren't the same, right? There is going to be a thought process of what a group of black people together is going to look like. Okay, listen, let's not fool ourselves. That's the thing that kills me. Like, you guys act like we as black people don't even have stereotypes for ourselves. If you're walking in a bad neighborhood and you see a group of black people that you're not from this area, you're not new to this area, you see a bunch of black kids, pants down, chains on, you're gonna be like, oh shoot, like I ain't even trying to. That's where your mind goes to. So you cannot get upset when people have the notion that an all-black event is going to come with problems. You cannot get mad at that assumption. Okay, it's life. Is it right? No. But you cannot act like we don't think like that. Okay? We think like that ourselves as black people. Right? So unless you've been in an HBCU environment before and you know it's not like that, you don't know what it's like. Right? When I went to the Orange Blossom, let me blow myself up, because you guys, let me tell you, see, most of you guys are born and you've grown up in this. Let me tell you, my first real HBCU game, football, I went to the Orange Blossom Classic down in Miami, right? Jackson State, FAMU, the first one. I'm in there. I'm like, this is real corporate. You know, my first HBCU football game, right? I'm like, this is real corporate. I'm like, this is real stuffy. Like, it's not, okay, it wasn't bad. I'm like, okay, this nice. It's all right. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? It had a nice little vibe. I was like, okay, cool. I thought that was the HBCU environment, right? The next week, I go to the Southern Heritage Classic in Memphis. It's not the same. It is not. It is night and day. Okay? Night and day. From the OBC to the Southern Heritage Classic, it is night and freaking day. And then I really got to experience HBCU. I said, yo, this is crazy. I mean, like, you got blues music, you got RVs everywhere, everybody and their mama cooking, girls stepping, clothes getting shorter, black people everywhere. I mean, it's different, right? But if you would have asked me the first time that I went to an HBCU game after the OBC, I'm like, it's okay. You know, it's a little stuffy, but it's okay. But I've been to a lot of them, but actually, I've been to a lot of games now, so I can tell you it's a family environment. I can give that opinion, an honest assessment. I'll say, hey, it's a family environment. Now, I'll tell you, listen, Mobile Classic, I don't care. No, you can get mad at me. Anybody from Mobile? I will never step foot in People's Stadium ever again. Okay? I will never go to another game in Mobile at Pebble Stadium, People's, whatever the hell it's called. That is ninjas, okay? That is ninjas. I will not be a part of ninjas, okay? HBCUs, family atmosphere. Family, a lot of family, kids, family. Mobile, ninjas. I'm not doing that. And I would tell anybody that. It's ninjas. I'm not doing it. Not the same, okay? I don't give a damn. I do not. I'm telling everybody who asks me, I'm not messing with Mobile. It's ninjas down there. That stadium is in the middle of ninjas. Now, downtown Mobile, absolutely lovely. Right by the water, absolutely lovely. Pebble Stadium is ninjas, okay? Absolutely ninjas in the middle of ninjas. I've never, at no HBCU game, I have never felt unsafe walking back to my car. At Peebles, I felt like I needed a gun. I felt like I needed to have a strap. I've never felt that. I've been to Baton Rouge. I've been to Jackson. I've been to Jackson, okay? I've been to Valley. I've been to Alcorn. I've been to FAM. I've been to where else I going? I've been some places, okay? Mobile, negative, okay? Mobile, negative. Will not go back. 5240 coming to you.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty? I don't agree with the first caller because you never know who will give. If somebody makes a comment about an HBCU and the first thing you do is bash them, they're going to run away. But if you educate them with literature and get them to understand why things are where they are, maybe they will give. You never know.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Everybody who comes into this space and they make a comment about it, you can't bash them because you never know who they are. They make it say, well, damn, you give them all this literature and let them know why HBCUs are the way they are. They're like, damn, I didn't know all this. Let me get 5 of my friends and let's donate some money. You never know.
You never know.
So saying, but if you bash them, the next thing you know, they're going to tell their other friend who got money, man, them HBCU folks, man, I tried to do this, and they ain't do nothing but bash them. You never know. I'm saying that's all I got to say, man.
Hey, appreciate it, Joe. Listen, man. Hey, TG, I see you. Bobby, I see you. Bridget, I see you. Let me get through a couple points, and I'm gonna hit y'all up on this line, right? Listen, man. It's funny. It's funny that y'all said that. Let me tell you how much I know y'all than y'all, okay? Let me explain to you. Like that last caller, the first caller was talking about, oh, Scotty, they don't want to. Let me tell you how much I know y'all, right? I made a list. I said, what I have learned since my time in HBCU. I made a list because I know you ninjas, okay? I know you ninjas. You know, when your girl, she be like, I knew you was going to forget your wallet. I knew you was going to forget your bag. And your girl standing right there with your wallet. You be like, babe, I can't find my wallet. And your girl standing right there with your wallet because she knew you was going to forget. I know you ninjas. I know what. Here's my list. My first list, what I've learned. Most HBCUs do not respect FCS. What else I've learned? You cannot have a negative opinion about an HBCU. What else I've learned? Talking about HBCUs is like talking about the Holocaust. Know your shit. Okay? What else I've learned? To talk about HBCU, you have to give it money. What did he just call and say? I didn't make this slide up while he was talking. I already had it ready because I already knew. To talk about an HBCU, you have to give it money. Liking the schools are not enough. You can't relate unless you have a degree. Part 2 of my list. Some days they power 5, other days they can't afford it. Oh, this list gets better. All right. They want to insulate, but also want to be seen. Sound like a girl to me, don't know what they want. Babe, I want a burger, but I don't want a burger. Like, I want a taco, but I don't want ground beef on my, I don't know. I'm hungry, but like, I'm not hungry. Like, you get what I'm saying? They have a national champion, but they only play themselves. Do not bring up the playoffs. Okay? They have the best bands. What else I've learned? Part 3 of my list. Have put the most black professionals in the workplace. All right, number 2, there is always a nuance, okay? Whatever you think you know, there is a nuance, okay? Tradition is the name of the game, okay? Please, for God's sakes, do not bring up playoffs, okay? Jesus Christ, if anything else, do not bring up playoffs. All right? They are underfunded. Okay? And my last list, when in doubt, if you don't know nothing else and they don't tell you nothing else, they are underfunded, 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 they are underfunded. Okay? If you don't know nothing else, if you don't know nothing else, just take this list, screenshot this list, and go from there. Okay? Jesus. Bridges coming to you, then TG coming to you.
Shoot, what's up, Scotty?
What's
man?
up, B?
What's up, man? My thing about this is, why couldn't somebody just educate the man? Just educate them. That's all. We got a whole bunch of doctors and lawyers and teachers and preachers and all this other stuff that we have in HBCU land. Well, we can't get one nigga to educate us. But we can get it. Please explain that to me.
You got to be open. I mean, you think anybody in his circle is going to explain to him, you know what I'm saying, HBCUs? That's one. And then 2, you have to be open to being educated. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. Are you going to be open to that?
I mean, if you have concerned reasons to say something about it, then you may have concerned reasons to be open. If you're that concerned to say something about an HBCU, you gotta have some. You gotta have some type of to be open.
No,
that's
not true though. That's not true. I don't have to be open to give an opinion. You don't have to be. Do you? Okay, let me ask you this. Do you have to be open to somebody from MAGA who gives you an opinion about Donald Trump?
No.
You don't. That's life. I don't have to be open. And the fact that you're making somebody have to be open, they have to want to do that, right? You have to want to hear the other side of a Republican's opinion. You have to want to hear the other side of somebody who you feel has done you wrong opinion. You have to be open to that, right? It just doesn't come unless you really are just like, oh no, you like if you're shut off to it, it's nothing. It's sometimes like when me and Key are talking, she knows like by my demeanor, I'm not taking it what she's saying in, right? Because I'm already turned off about. I'm so upset. I'm turned off by the conversation. So she knows, hey, listen, I'm not even gonna say nothing. I'm gonna come back, and when you're ready to hear me, then we can go forward, right? People, you got to look at Dez Bryant like this. How would you have felt, right, if you were in your right mind, you thought you were doing something nice. You were just like, man, I'm trying to shout out the HBCUs. I'm trying to say what they need. And then everybody bashes you. And then you're talking, then you want somebody to say, oh man, you need a correction. You're like, bro, I don't want to hear nothing from y'all Bamas no more. Because I can't do nothing. You get what I'm saying? People don't put people in each other's shoes and understand where people are coming from. And people are just from HBCUs are like, he should have known better. But if you put yourself in Dez Bryant's shoes, who didn't know much about HBCUs, you would say, damn, like, did you have to attack him the way he did? You get what I'm saying? So it goes both ways. But I'm sorry, Bridges. It's your call, man. You say what you got to say. I'm sorry.
But I mean, I understand what you said, but I'm just saying like somebody could have like reach out to his camp, reach out to him and be like, hey, Dez Bryant, the reason why people are attacking you is because of this, this, and this, and this, and, you know, blah, 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 so he can learn. That's what I'm saying. He may not be open to it. Like you said, he may not be open to that, but at least somebody has to reach out to him. I mean, because all they just doing is bashing the man over one comment. But that,
once again, he just got to be open to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I added him on Twitter. I said, hey, if he wants to call in, he's more than welcome to call in. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I wouldn't blame Dez Bryant if you don't want nothing to do with HBCUs ever again. I wouldn't blame him.
I would. How they came out, I wouldn't either. But I'm gonna get off. I ain't gonna hold you.
All right, man. No problem. This is such an asinine statement. We as people do this all the time. We as people do this all the time. We speak about something that we do not have knowledge of. Right? It's called gossip. If you gossip, hey, I heard, oh, such and such said, you don't know shit about what's going on, but you just spreading we do it all the time. So don't get up in here talking about how you so high and mighty about stuff. You're not. None of you are. You all have had a point that you've said something. It doesn't make it right. It's the truth. And the fact that you can't put somebody, and the fact that you can't see yourself and say, you know what? I've been there. It's not in this particular moment, but I've been there. I've been there. That's the thing that kills me. Is that people like to say stuff like, oh, I would never. I'm like, bro, you talk about stuff all the time. Have you, especially you, Mr. Shelby 12, talking about how Deion was going to stay? You ain't no knowledge of shit. Oh, Scotty, Deion going to stay. Shador going to be there for 4 years. Wasn't that you? Wasn't that you? Deion gonna move us to power 12. What power 5? Wasn't that you? Shut that shit up. Hey, Smash, coming to you.
Scotty, man, like it's crazy. You said this stuff go both ways, and you're right. Like, because the first thought about, you know, I kind of agree with you know what I'm saying. He should have educated himself, but at the same time, I sat back and I'm like, you know, damn, well, he might ain't know. And that always disappoints me, like when you get like black people that just come from different parts of the world that don't have a clue about what goes on down here. You know what I'm saying? Or just at HBCUs in general. But sometimes you can't follow because they just probably grew up and just never was educated. So like to say a statement like you said about, you know, us playing big schools and stuff, if he literally didn't know, we shouldn't send him. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't send him at all. And you never know if somebody would like reach out and educate him. He could always come back with, I did my research on HBCUs and now, you know, I take back what I said. But here are some more ways that we possibly could help HBCU thrive. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely see both sides clearly. Now, the statement that you said about about how we need to treat outsiders better, that that's the thing too. You know what I'm saying? Because what's crazy is I'm looking at your first slide of things, and I'm sitting back like, I don't see a damn thing wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm been keeping it gusto with you. You know what I'm saying? Because when we do say stuff like you gotta come to one to understand. To what we saying, I stand on that. You need to attend one of these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, to understand what we go through. And I promise you, you know what I'm saying, you would understand what we stand about. You need to come to one to understand the stuff we go through. Now, does that make it right? Does that make it, a good statement? You shouldn't have to go to one to kind of understand, but we want you to come to our schools, because if Dez Bryant would have went to a school, HBCU for a semester, something, he would have had a better approach of what he said. But at the same time, for as much as I can give us, I can take us, because I do watch other people, you know what I'm saying? So some of my colleagues, when I explain to them what Southern is, you don't know what the fuck that shit is up north to other places of the world. Mm-hmm. Oh, dang, y'all do this? But I show them the band, and they like, God damn, like, how can I be a part of this? How can I donate? You know what I'm saying? But if you just giving everybody flack who don't know about HBCUs, you know what I'm saying, outsiders, you never know what opportunity you're missing out on. You know what I'm saying? And that's I'm the epitome of somebody who don't play about HBCUs. So that statement you made, bro, we got to treat outsiders better. We do. But and it's kind of fraternity mentality we have. You know what I'm saying? You can't just walk on this side of the field. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through a list. You got to show us you're worthy. And that's
I would say this, Smash. HBCUs have to be. You guys are smart enough to know who to make a friend and who to and keep at it. Like, you know how your mom and your grandma used to say, sometimes you got to feed people with a 10-foot pole, right? Doesn't mean they can't be a part of what you're doing. You just can't be too close because you got too much negativity, right? When you're feeding them, you're still giving them substance. And that's the thing with HBCUs. They want to make everybody to be a friend. We want everybody to talk really good about us. And that's not life. No PWI has everybody talking well about them, right? Because I tell you guys this all the time. The reason your coaches could never coach at Power 5 levels is because they don't take criticism very well. I get calls from alums talking about, man, my coach heard what you said. He don't appreciate that. Okay, I don't give two shits. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's part of the job. You're a public figure. You're going to be talked about, right? You think Nick Saban is not going to you think Nick Saban's not going to go to Paul Feinbaum? You know, you get what I'm saying? So it's the thing for me is this, right? HBCUs have to see themselves as, listen, there are going to be some people that love us, some people that are just like cool with us, and there's some people that don't like us. But it doesn't mean their money don't spend the same. You can come to a game and not like us. Their money spends the same.
I mean, I agree with you, Scotty. You know what I'm saying? I see both sides, and I hate sometimes seeing both sides of things. Clear. I don't gotta like you to take your money. You know what I'm saying? Come to the game. You know what I'm saying?
Smash. Let's be real. You do a lot of videoing. You do a lot of videography, right? Somebody can give you a stupid, hey, Smash, I want you to film the corner from the bottom of the house to the top of the house. You be like, that don't make no type of sense. But you ain't gonna be like, nah, I can't take your money. You be like, that's what you want me to do? All right, I'm gonna do it. You just roll with it. You just roll with it.
Look at the other comments too, because that's something I can get on us about. When you said to talk about HBCUs, you have to have given money, and I don't like that all the time as well, because it's like, damn, like, this rich white person who donated $1 trillion to the school can now say this HBCU ain't shit because he gave money. You know what I'm saying? So that's like, I hate that too. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like kind of like selling your soul because somebody done gave you money. You know what I'm saying? I know that statement probably could have mean like, unless you're the HBCU that alum that gave back, because we don't talk about how many HBCUs. I'm starting on this one. They be like, you ain't graduated from HBCU. I always ask that question no matter what. Like, what school you graduated from? Oh, I didn't graduate. All right, boom. Now I'm like, do you at least give back? Do you go to games? Do you support? You know what I'm saying? So it's many angles you can definitely take that from. But a lot of times we hinder ourselves. There's a lot of people who make these crazy statements on social media. It's people that hurt the HBCU more than help them. You made their retention rate bad. You went there and ain't graduated lick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, it be certain people you can talk to about HBCUs, and it's some people who just like, you probably went to HBCU hurting them more than you even helping. because you repping them. You know what I'm saying? You giving them a bad rep because you uneducated. You misrepresenting the school that you so-called claim. So like I said, long story short, I see all sides of this, bro. We shouldn't have gave him that much flack, but I'll be interested to see if he is going to educate himself and come back, you know what I'm saying, on some type of shit. That show me if he really a stand-up guy. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. I can respect that. Now I can if I would respect Dez if he came back and made like, hey, listen, I didn't understand. I still feel this way, but I should have. You get what I'm saying? Like you still stand on what you believe, but you just say, hey, I should have did more research. I would respect that. I feel you on that one, Smash.
My time's got it.
All right, man, appreciate it. TG coming to you, then Bobby coming to you. Hold on real quick. Let me save this comment. Hey, TG, you live.
Yeah, bro. My thing is, my mom always told me, when you point your finger at one, you got 3 pointing back at you. I don't think we should have given him this much slack. I mean, been on him like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I agree with everybody that, maybe we should have educated him. A lot of times we shoot ourselves in the foot. And a lot of us talk all this noise, whether we graduated or didn't graduate, we don't even give back ourselves when, you got dues that's like $50. You know what I'm saying? That was the thing that I saw on social media where a guy was saying he has these quarterly meetings with his family. He's the one that made it out in his family. He's the one that's doing well in his family. And so he has these quarterly meetings with his family. He get them all together and he say, hey, this is what we're going to do. All right, we're going to help work on credit. We're going to work on grandma credit first. So we're going to work on, they decide who they're going to work on their credit first. Once they build that person's credit up, he gets them on his business credit. And like he has like a storage unit or something. Yeah. And then he hires his family to work the storage unit. And then he hires them to be the movers. And then he puts vending machines in there. And they done built this person up. Now they built the next person up, something like that. And we don't have that mindset to build each other up. You know what I'm saying? Like just like at Jackson State right now, man, I'm trying to work on. And if anybody, you know what I'm saying, can give me some ideas, I'm all open. I played in the band, man, and the band is big, but the band room is small. Like the bigger the band get, the crowded it is, and it's some space that can be opened up, but you need more like-minded people to say, hey, we're gonna put a little money in the pot every month to get this situated, to get this done, and then we ain't gotta be around here doing all this extra pointing at the finger at people, this and that, And it's only because Dez Bryant said it. If Joe Blow had said it, it wouldn't have got this much traction. But we like to talk a lot about this stuff, and we don't even really, you know what I'm saying, support our own school or wherever we claiming like, oh, they don't know. Well, do you even support? You know what I'm saying? You can even see it now, man. It's 308 people and 87 with likes on here. They ain't even clicking the like button. You know what I'm saying? We need them to click this like button. So
absolutely,
it's crazy, man. It's crazy to me, but I feel like, I hope he get educated. You know what I'm saying? I hope we don't make excuses because, just like we could jump on him, we need to take a look in the mirror and see where we could do better too. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So that's all I got, man. I just really want y'all to get these likes up, though. That's what bothers me the most is the likes with the clicking. I mean, you ain't even giving no money back, just a click on your finger. So click the like button, like my boy stream, and hey, we can keep this convo going. Hey, Scotty, keep doing your thing, dog.
Hey, no problem, man. Appreciate you. I told y'all. I told you it was coming. Dog, like, call me Miss Cleo. Call me now. Call me Miss Cleo. Call me now. I told you. Y'all like an easy book to read. Bobby, coming to you.
What's going on, my brother? I'm out here in the country. That's my phone keep dropping. But I do agree with you. We got to be softer with people that didn't graduate from HBCUs when they come and visit or spend time with us. We have to be Wakanda for the community, because that's really what the purpose of the university is. We might not have got you, but we want to attract the kids. And then as HBCU alone, we have to be honest. We can't accept every black person.
Thank you. And you can't dismiss every white person.
We're going to have people that go to PWIs, but it doesn't make them less about the community.
Thank you.
They can still help no matter where they went. We have to be nice. You see somebody walking around your campus and they lost, help them. Shoot them a rib bone or something if they at a football game and they looking lost. They'll be all right. And it don't cost you nothing, but you might have just won your school a fan. You know, I have several friends whose children are currently attending at FAMU, not because they went to FAMU, but because I talked my school up. And when their kids are like, hey, I want to go to a game, I buy them the ticket. It's easy. I couldn't get your mom or your dad, but I can get you.
That boy said, I'll be out here recruiting.
Right. Hey, I'm going to get your kids. You all right? I'm going to get your kids. You're going to make them. I'm going to bring them to FAMU.
Oh, man. That's good.
But we all have to adopt that. And that elitist thing is prevalent amongst the community. And it's something that does need to, go away. But that's all I had to say, my brother. Y'all have a good day.
No, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And listen, Bobby is so right. Like, Bobby is he hit the nail on the head when he said, by your actions, you're recruiting the next generation, right? You're recruiting my son and daughter, right? I've already did my time. I'm gonna go back to Claflin. I'm gonna try to get my degree. Maybe not. Right? I would like to, but maybe not. I'm not a school guy, right? But you're recruiting my 3 kids, right? You're recruiting my kids, right? Shy, Eris, Solid, you're recruiting them. But Key loves Southern, right? So she already said one of our kids is going to Southern. Don't matter. She don't care who. Somebody going to Southern. Why does she like that? 1, she loves the colors. 2, she loves the band. And 3, she loves the way people treat her at Southern. Anybody we met from Southern, we have been great friends. Perry, Smash, Mr. Gregory, Rube. Everybody that we've met from Southern has treated us, BJ, like they have treated us so well, right? For me, I'm FAMU. One of my kids got to go to FAM. Why? Because of what they did for Kofi. That touched my soul. You will never understand. When I saw that band march in for Kofi on his final day, that touched my absolute soul. And I said, somebody got to go to FAM. I don't care if it's a night class. I don't care if it's a secondary degree. I don't care if it's for an associate. Somebody got to go to FAM. Right? It's those are the moments that make HBCUs what they are, right? It's those experiences that you can't explain to the kid or whatever of what made them attracted to, I've heard people talk about, watching the band play and this, that, and the third and going here and my mom doing this and my dad being this, all that, or just just being around it so much that that's all you knew. And you were just like, I'm gonna stay a part of it. You get what I'm saying? Let me see. I love being an HBCU alum, but we got to do some accountability training. I love it. Absolutely love it. Right? Let me, I got a couple comments that I want to touch. He says, Scotty, when you have been disrespected all your career, when you work just as hard with a lot less, in many cases, get no respect, you become more sensitive to the put down. That's fair. That is a fair assumption, right? But at the end of the day, it doesn't take away your value. Doesn't take away your value. Doesn't take away what you've accomplished. Doesn't, like, people can put me down, but it doesn't stop me from telling you, like, you can't be me. You can't do what I do. You can't move the way I move. You can't entertain the way I entertain. You get what I'm saying? People say, oh, Scotty, you a hater. Oh, Scotty, you ain't this. Oh, Scotty, you ain't that. Like, it doesn't put down what I have accomplished. No matter what you might say about me negatively, you can never take away the accomplishments of me. You can never take away the accomplishments of HBCUs. You can never take away the history of what HBCUs have made and been for this country. and what they continue to be for this country, no matter what you do to put it down. So instead of focusing on the negative of the put down of them feeling however they feel, you keep being excellent in whatever you're excellent in. You keep making your weaknesses strengths. If you keep focusing on the negativity, life is, listen, man, I don't know how much I have to keep explaining this to you, Bamas. Listen, just look at the presidential election. Bamas be winning that junk 52-48, right? There's never going to be a 90-10. America is always going to be split. Everybody is not going to like everything. The quicker you get that through your head, the quicker you can move through life a lot easier. You can only affect what you can affect. You can only change what you can change. And you can't get mad when you can't change something. It's okay. Oh, if I got on here every day and said HBCUs ain't this or that, it is your choice from that point to keep arguing with me, to keep bickering with me, or to not watch me anymore, right? It is your choice to go through that. So yes, I understand the put downs and the get backs and all that type of stuff, but come on, man. You gotta do better. Got to do better when understanding it. If he was a regular person without his platform, he wouldn't have got such much terrible reaction from the community. I don't disagree with the basis of your commentary. Thank you, KJ. But listen, I ask you this. What is the difference between this commentary and this commentary? They're both asking for the same thing. They're both asking or implying, I won't say asking, they're both implying that they can go FBS. Both of them are implying that. You just know the intentions of one compared to the other. That's the only thing that's changed in that whole, no matter the platform, the intentions are still the same, because if Josh had 3.4 million people, is this a false narrative? If Josh had 3.4 million followers, is this still a bad narrative? And Mr. Shelby 12, you do a lot of texting, but you never call in, because all you do is these little short skits, but you never give a full opinion. Is the narrative different because Josh don't have 3.4 million followers? Is the narrative? You're not answering the question. Is the narrative different? One is asking about FBS. The other one is saying Power 5. What is the difference in narrative? Mr. Campbell, you're live.
Okay. Scott, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Okay. All right, man. Perfect. Hey, man, I love the show. You know what? I'm actually going to defend the Primates. And I'm going to defend Dez Bryant a little bit, because I think this is what happens, and context and nuance does matter. The average college football fan has no ties to the school they root for. So, like, I see people, all them people rooting for LSU, them folks didn't go to LSU. All them people rooting for Alabama, they didn't go to Alabama, Florida, et cetera, right? Because they looked at college football like most of them look at, as basically a junior NFL league, right? So when Prime comes in, he brings all these people who look at football just for football.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what they do. So when they come and look at SWAC and HBCU football, they don't see the same level. And they're like, oh, man, I can't believe that you guys play this type of football, because they're used to watching something, because they have no ties to it. They look at, I'm a Miami Hurricane fan. I don't give a shit about Miami. I like Miami because when I was younger, them dudes was black as hell, and they acted like we did in the streets when we played street football. And I hated Ole Miss, and I didn't like Mississippi State. There is a difference. So when the Primates came in, they did not have that understanding. So here was the HBCU people. Because HBCU people, when they go to the football games, they go to football games because they actually care about FAMU and Jackson State and Alabama State and all that. And if the football, which is not as good as it's been, is a side note. So Prime kind of comes in and says, hey, let's talk about football. Now, for a football fan like me and a historian of SWAC football, I love that. So I didn't have a problem with that.
What I have a problem with is what Dez Bryant did. Because when you say things, because it's about that. So he says, you guys need, and this is what I'm talking about specifically what he said, because we can't change what he said. He said, go to a Power 5 conference. He named the Power 5 conference. I can say that same thing about North Dakota State. And they're calling it the Big South. I can say that exact same thing. So when you go out there and throw that out there, and we know goddamn well that Jackson State FAMU is not going to be able to join the ACC and the SEC, that's not realistic. And what I think, what's your boy name from HBCU Nightly? Josh? Mm-hmm. That's him, right?
Yep.
When he's talking about, and I'm assuming because I did not hear his statement, and he's talking about that, it's more about the scholarships and things like that. But no, there is a big difference between Power 5 and Group of 5 because the MAC is not the same as the SEC. It's not the same. So when Dez says what he said, I'm talking about what he wrote. See, don't change what he wrote. He wrote that. You can't tell me what he said because I'm reading what he said. So that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. I think that's what people kind of got upset. But I don't think anybody should go any deeper than what he's talking about is about sports. Because that's all Dez Bryant cares about. Because Dez Bryant don't care about no education. He don't care about the dorms. He don't care about the funding. He went to Oklahoma State because he wanted to play football. All these guys that go to Alabama, do you think they really give a shit about Alabama? They don't. Go ask Blue how many of them players actually know about the War Eagle and Auburn. They don't know. I bet your Blue knows. I bet the white folks know about that because they have a culture too. When you see Clemson, they touch that rock. Them white folks know what that rock means. So don't act like they don't have a culture too that they don't care about. Because if you don't believe, go listen to Paul Firebaum and them class of 55, 56, 65, and they all talking about their culture. So they got culture they care about. The 12th man at Texas A&M. That means something to them. But most college football fans are junior NFL fans. They don't care. They just root for the school. And I'm cool with that too. So we have to be clear on that and stuff like that. So when Dez says this and says in order for HBCU to start, you're going to have to throw these colleges into big conferences, that's not realistic. That's just dumb. It's not the same. Come on, man. We got to be honest with this. And I think you can challenge him on that. But anything else, hey, man, I'm not going to get into that. But we cannot compare saying FAMU, because you remember this all tried to happen. FAMU, Southern, Grambling, whoever else, all tried to go up. Because basically they were just trying to be part of the MAC, be what the MAC is. But there's no way they got the money to be the SEC. There's a difference, man. So when he throws out the Jackson State, FAMU go to the ACC, SEC, that's not realistic. That's silly. That's ignorance. And I think that's where people have the problem with the statement. I think that's what the big issue is. But we cannot act like there's not a culture that people that actually go to school, they do know. Because if you go around their wife on the SEC, they will check you quick. But most people don't care because they just want to see good football. So that's why we watch Alabama and because those are the best players. That's all this is all about, man. So we got to just chill on some of this because I think we make more out of it. And I understand why HBCU people get all personal and stuff like that because like people say, because people come in and don't understand. I went to FAMU. Like you just said about Kofi. FAMU did that. If Kofi died at Florida State, wouldn't have gave a shit about that?
Hey, Mr. Cole,
he would have been another black man dead.
Mr. Campbell, let me push back on you real quick, right? Because this is my thing. The same way that can we because this is the thing. I gotta call a spade a spade. When it comes to HBCU alums and knowing FCS, they don't know shit about FCS football, right? Outside of what HBCU is.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Okay.
They know.
Hold on. Could Dez Bryant be in the same boat as Power 5 and Group of 5? He might not know he might not know about Conference USA. He might not know about all the little micro stuff. So he's only talking about what he was a part of and what he's experienced and what he enjoys. Right? Because I look at it the same way, is that the way people at HBCU don't care about FCS football could be the same way Dez Bryant does not care about Group of 5 football. So he's only speaking to his experience.
But okay, so here's my problem with that analogy. When we say we don't care, because I'll tell you why we don't care, because those other conferences don't have the history we have. So when somebody tells me about Sam Houston or North Dakota and all that, and talk about how great their football is right now, and not say how great our football has been consistently with all the Hall of Famers, that's my problem. Dez Bryant is born and bred in that machine of Power 5. So yeah, he probably doesn't care about Cincinnati, but he knows who Cincinnati is. He ain't stupid. He knows Cincinnati. It's totally different me not knowing North Dakota State. It's not, I don't know that's the same comparison.
Yeah, I think it is, because he probably can't name a school in the MAC. He probably can't name a school in the Mountain West. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know the few onesies and twosies. Like HBCU alums know the onesies and twosies. North Dakota State, South Dakota State, Montana. Probably what McNeese or whoever. They know the onesie and twosies of FCS football. Or you know what I'm saying? So it's the same. It's literally the same thing. He can only know onesies and twosies of Group of 5 guys.
Okay, well, fine. I'll let you have that. But let's go back to his point. When you throw out HBCU to Power 5, it's just no equation there. It's not. There's no validity in that statement. It's just not. So to go throw yourself in deep, that's the point. So if you don't have the depth of knowledge and you throw it out there, you're going to get the reaction. And I'm just going to say one thing because I'm looking at this chat. And I'm going to say this for all y'all. Why is it that white people can care about their history? Because I see this all the time. They talk about Dez Bryant. They talk about all the coaches and stuff like that, and Bo Jackson and Steve Spurrier and all these guys. But black folks can't talk about their history and our sports history. Y'all silly. So they can talk about history is the reason how you build these programs. Alabama talks about all their national championships. They don't start with Nick Saban. They talk about all the national championships. Same thing with Florida. Ole Miss even talk about their national championship, that one they got back in like 55 or something. So stop that. So every school is built off of history. Every school is built off of history. That's why it's called history and tradition. Our Alabama tradition, our Clemson tradition, our Michigan tradition. So only you who have no tradition don't know what you're talking about. So yes, people are going to say Jackson State tradition. I'm going to know about Bullet Bob Hay from FAMU and Jake Gaither. That matters. So not to get too far from that. But God, I just wanted to get back to your point. I respect what you're saying. But the only thing is when Dez Bryant, what I'm talking about, this is what happens with Twitter. There's no other context in the 100, 200 characters he said, right? And that's what happens with Twitter. That's why I don't like when people get in Twitter beefs. It is not enough like in your show. We can have a dialogue. You speak, I speak. You speak. And then you know what? What you just said to me, I said, I can sit down and understand what you just said.
Yeah.
But when you put that on Twitter, this is what people do. This is exactly what people do.
You know what? This is the thing, right? When it comes to history, I agree with you. The history of how programs were built, the history on, you know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of times HBCUs use history as an explanation for why they do what they do, right? Like, because it could like, and they blend that history and tradition very closely, right? Because there could be a tradition that the J5 do what they do, and they do their dong, let me tell you something. Let me go off script a little bit, right? So I'm taking my son to football practice by McDonough High School, right? So he got football practice. We walk in. The band is playing. Dun, 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 dun. I said, you got to be shitting me right now. I said, I can't even get away from these Bama's. I was hot. I'm like, I can't even get away from these Bama's. And Key, like, you in the South, Atlanta, they like Jackson State. I was like, man, anyway. So anyway,
the band record probably with the Jackson State.
I was like, I can't get away from these Bama's. Anyway, so, but, I think there's a very close blend of history and tradition that kind of overlap, because I would say this, if I was talking to an Alabama person, they'd be like, yeah, we got history. I'm like, well, if we want to be honest, you had to go away from a lot of your traditional stuff because you wouldn't be as good as you are now if you stayed in your tradition of only getting white players. So,
but Alabama had, bro. Now, see that one. Alabama ain't had white players since 1969. They ain't had nothing but black players. Listen, you go back to Gene Stone when they won their last that championship, but dude, they've always had black players. The SEC is black, always been black since integration. Now, come on, now, stop that.
No, what I'm saying
they always had black players.
Listen, what I'm saying is that was a tradition before integration. They had to go. There were people that didn't agree with it, right? And then there were people that did agree with it. But they had to move away from that. So I know it's such an extreme. I'm talking on an extreme basis, but there are some things historically and traditionally that some HBCUs probably have to move away from. right? It could be.
Well, see, again, this one. Okay, so I want to narrow this back. I think with negative things and not being forward thinking and growing is what you're talking about. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about exactly when you're going to hear Auburn and Blue, if he's on there, talk about Pat Sullivan winning the goddamn Heisman Trophy in 19 whatever. They're going to mention him along with Bo Jackson and Cam Newton. You see what I'm saying? They're going to do that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about specifically that of how you can say that we produce. What does Jackson State say? We produce 100-something draft picks. Now, God, no, they hadn't produced draft picks in a long time, but they're going to let you know they had 100 draft picks. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's more what I'm talking about, not the things, because we should be better. I always tell you I did not just call you up to say, I'm proud of what you did because you are changing the narrative and making people think. Did we not just have this conversation?
Yes, sir, you did. Yes, sir, you did.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. That's not what I'm talking about. I want that tradition to change of ineptitude, of us not getting our money and things like that. That's not what we're talking about. I'm doing the Dez Bryant. I'm only talking about sports.
Got you.
Okay, so I'm going to do Dez Bryant. I'm only talking about sports.
Yeah.
So that's the conversation, what I'm saying. And when I see people say that in other schools, Michigan is going to be Michigan. SC is going to talk about O.J. Simpson and all the fools that won the Heisman. They still talk about that they integrated football because they came and whooped Alabama's ass. That shit was damn near 60 years ago. SC still brag about that.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. I agree. I mean, listen, this is my and I know we're going to kind of go off subject, but this is the whole point of it. My thing is, I think that the SWAC doesn't do a very good job of pushing their culture, pushing the
horrible.
Because
horrible.
I talk to so many all-court alums, and they talk about that last McNair game when it's, I think it was like a sellout or like Valley or I don't know, like the last McNair game, and it was like at the Vet or something like that, and it was
they was against Jackson State, and it was damn near 70,000 people in there.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where's the footage of that? You know what I'm saying? Why do I have to go through ESPN and watch highlight clips of McNair being on ESPN every week? You know what I'm saying? Like of when they were doing the McNair watch, or because for him going for Heisman and stuff like that. I think that's the bad part of the SWAC, is that there is no centralized location where you can go back and watch Walter Payton play a full game. You can go back and watch Valley and Willie Totten play a full game. You know what I'm saying? Like you like, I don't know what Michael Strahan was because I've never seen a full game of him at Texas Southern.
But see that to me, that's a different conversation. Listen to what you just said. We both know that Michael Strahan, because I've told you about Michael Strahan, but we saw what he did in the pros, right?
Yeah.
So just somebody that Texas Southern can say, you know what? You know Michael Strahan. Let me show you what he did on the field. You're like, damn, he did that. We can't even go find that. Somebody will have to go dig it up.
Yeah.
So no, you're right. See, that's the point. Now, that's a different thing. That's a different discussion.
Absolutely.
But I'm talking about what Dez Bryant said and the reaction that he got back from people. And the only reason why I pointed out when I hear people down and that people should not talk about history, because that is just idiotic. We always are going to do that. We're always going to revel in it. FAMU's going to talk about their great alums. Alabama's going to talk about their alums and everything. That's what they did. But man, listen, I'm not going to hold you. You're doing a great job. I'm going to say this one more time to everybody. You don't have to agree with anything that Scotty's saying or I say. The fact that we can get on here at noon and this is food for us by us. That's all I care about. I don't care about if anybody agree with me, because ain't none of y'all paying my goddamn bills and I got more money than most of y'all. So it's all good. Talk to you later.
All right, Mr. Kelvin, appreciate it. And listen, that's what this platform is for. It's for opinions. I might disagree. You might disagree. KJ calls in. She might flame somebody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? It's all at the end of the day, right? No matter how you might like me or disagree with me, all I want to see is HBCUs be better, right? And because I'm like the kid that just found oh man, how when you're a kid and you're playing a game and you just found like a secret move, you do it all the time. Like now, for me, that's what I am. Like when my friends talk about, they be like, yo, Scotty, man, you still doing that HBCU stuff. I'm like, hell yeah, you need to go to a game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, man, y'all need to go, man. Like, I'm serious. Like, y'all need to go check it. Like, because I'm that person now, right? I'm that person that, like, y'all might not believe me, but when my cousins or something, they talk about this and they talk about that. I'm like, hey man, listen. Y'all need to take y'all ass to a game. They be like, oh, you know, Dion out there. No, I don't give two shits. Y'all need to take y'all ass to a game because it's just a great experience. Like, it's just like, now like I said, I'm not talking about Mobile. No, sirree, Bob. You could not pay me to do a game at Peebles. Could not pay me. I'm not doing it. I'm telling you, that was the most ninja event I've ever been to. And I've been to a lot of black people events, right? That thing was ninja central. Listen, y'all, whoever from Mobile, I love downtown Mobile, but I would never tell somebody to go to a game in Peebles Stadium. Absolutely never. Never. And you can get mad, oh, Scotty, you this or that. HBCU, stop playing your games in Mobile. Unless you playing at South Alabama, that stadium, or wherever other stadium they got around there, don't play your games at Peebles. Stop that. It's trash. It's trash. Absolute trash. TRASSSH exclamation point. Stop playing there. Jesus freaking Christ, man. It's like walking in. It's like, what? Walking into Peebles Stadium is, okay, imagine this. Imagine you in the safari, right? And you driving in a Jeep in the safari in Africa. And your driver says, hey, we want you to put on a meat suit and walk in the middle of those hyenas and lions. And they tell you it'll be safe. That is Peebles Stadium. It is literally walking in the middle of hyenas and lions to go watch a game. It's not worth it. It's absolutely, the traffic is bad. It's chaotic. Okay, just imagine the most. Listen, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Listen. Mobile about to get this work. Mobile about to get this work today. Okay. Imagine this. Imagine, right, the most nigga event you have ever been to in your life. Okay? And you know, I try to say the ninja, but I'm saying the N-word today. Imagine the most nigga event you have been to in your life and multiply that by 20 and then to the 10th power. That is Peebles Stadium. I'm going to say it again. Take the most nigga event in your life, times it by 20 to the 10th power. That is Peebles Stadium. Don't do it to yourself. And if you go, I warned you. I warned you. I warned you. I warned you. Okay? So don't care. I've warned you. Period. Period. I warned you. Don't care what you talk about. I warned you. So when somebody come back here and say, oh, Scotty, oh, you know, I went down and you were, I warned you. I warned you. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. It's nothing about that stadium that is worth going to that game. It's nothing about it. Absolutely nothing.
If I make you feel some type of way, if low key you're just here to hate,
I can't express it anymore. Just the stadium and the surrounding area of the stadium. Okay? Just the stadium and the surrounding area of the stadium. Just saying. That's a great point, Baron Visuals. It's a great point. But I would push back and say, who comes to those events? Is it an all ninja event? Or does it have a mixture of a little white delicacy of the mayo? Because everybody loves to bring that up. But what you fail to realize is that is mixed with a lot of mayo. A lot of it. Okay? ESPN brings a lot of mayo with that. Okay? So I'm talking about Lad, Peoples, Pebbles, whatever that stadium is called, full of ninjas. Full of ninjas. Okay? No mayo, no sprinkle of rice, no cream in the coffee, black. On top of black. Okay? Y'all can feel however you want to. Y'all can say, listen, y'all ain't gonna make me feel no type of way. I know what I felt. Okay, I know what I felt when I walked in that Joker. So, however you take it, it's how you take it. So, however you take it, is how you. Because see, you got people like this. What do they say? I'm okay with hood play. That's you. That ain't my testimony. Okay? I'm the green book for black people from the suburbs. And I'm okay with that. You ain't gonna make me feel no type of way. I will give you the green book for black people from the suburbs. Okay? Where you can walk down, where you can leave your door unlocked. That's the type of neighborhood I grew up in. Left my door unlocked. You know what I'm saying? You know, my neighbor had the key to the house. That's the neighborhood I grew up in. That's all I understand. And it was a black neighborhood. So I only want to, it was black and Hispanic. Okay? So you can miss me. I ain't grow up in a white neighborhood. It was black and Hispanic. All my neighbors were black, except one in the corner that was Hispanic. Okay? So that's the type of neighborhood I grew up in. So whoever grew up in that type of neighborhood, listen to your boy. Now, if you still feel comfortable going to that, by all means, do you, boo-boo. But I'm speaking to the Negroes that are used to being in the suburbs. Okay, we Jefferson moving on up to the east side. Okay, that's me. You know what I'm saying? That's me. 0986 coming to you. I calling you live.
Hey, what's up, Offscript? This Malachi.
What's up, man?
Great show. Love hearing your show and stuff every day and stuff. But so I got a question real quick for you.
What's up?
So when you walked up in that stadium and stuff, you know, what went through my mind first is, you know, did you act like Uncle Ruckus? You remember that scene when before he walked in there to exercise stink meter? He said, "There's some powerful niggatry up in here." That's what I pictured before you went through there. You like, ooh.
Listen,
you had the cold chill breath.
Let me tell you. I'll be 100%.
Right here.
I'll be 100% honest with you. I'll tell you the time I was like, I'm in the wrong area, right? I'm at the wrong game. Me and Key, we had parked in somebody's yard because right outside the stadium is houses, right? It's literally right outside the stadium is like a neighborhood full of like small single family homes, right? So we parked in somebody's yard. We're walking up. I felt fine. I'm not gonna lie to you. Walking up, I felt fine. It was still daylight, lights out. You know, I'm like, okay, cool. You know, we walking up. That I knew I was in trouble at two spots, right? It's a crowd right in front of the stadium. Like, so I don't know if you've ever been there, but right behind the stadium at like one of the wings is where most of the tailgating is done. It was a car sitting on like 45s or something stupid like that, right? a Cutlass or whatever. And he trying to drive through the crowd. Now, mind you, it's packed. The game is going on. He is trying to drive his Cutlass or whatever that crap was with them 45-inch rims with some candy pink color. I'm like, yo, what the hell are you doing? Right? That's why I was like, yo, we in the wrong. This is too ninja-ish, right? The second thing was this. This one tailgate, right, had speakers so loud it was drowning out everybody else's tailgate around. I'm like, yo, like it was. I'm talking about like it was like it was probably like a 2007 Yukon or Denali or something like, you know how black people be. And
It's always a 07 Denali with damn speaker.
Dog.
Yeah, that's some powerful niggatry right there.
He put, man, I said
that remind me of being in Albany, Georgia. 19 draft year at Albany, Georgia.
They were doing too much for me.
You was definitely in the hood.
Yeah, they was doing too much for me. So I was just like, yeah, I gotta go.
All right.
Got to go.
No problem. Thanks for letting me call in.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate you. I had to go. It was just too much for me. Listen, I've been to some great tailgates. I've been to Baton Rouge. I've seen Jackson tailgate. I've seen Alcorn tailgate. I had never experienced that. Like, usually, I ain't never experienced. 4028, damn, coming to you, Smash. Hey, Smash, you live. 4028, you live. I'm sorry.
What's good, Scotty? This is Reggie, man. From Mobile, so I ain't gonna hate on your little tirade right there. It got so bad. It got so bad. Mobile County schools, they don't even play at Lad no more. They went and built all of the inner city schools their own stadiums. So I ain't gonna.
But it's a problem with me though. Okay,
No, I mean, Lad got a little flavor. It's that, but what I'm saying, it is what it is. But on the majority of your call though, man, as a bunch of your other people, excuse me, have commented on here previously, there does need to be some accountability, you know what I'm saying, for us HBCU people, because everybody ain't gonna understand. But like Mr. Campbell said as well, I think most people are just caught, they were just more so upset at the comparison, which is like you said, you keep hearing the same, regurgitating points or whatever. But those things are true. And, as one of your other comments, I think you highlighted, you know what I'm saying? When you've been grinding in the dirt and you've been doing it the hard way, you know what I'm saying? You do become a little bit more sensitive to people coming and you feeling like you're being attacked. However, there's a better way to handle that. Because people going to speak on stuff they don't know about all the time. You can't change that. You know what I'm saying? But we can change our reaction to it. You understand what I'm saying?
I love it.
So it's all about trying to be, be more, I ain't going to say be more inclusive, but the thing that I guess I really just want to point out to you is that from an HBCU alum who is an active supporter of our schools, there's just two things I just want us to kind of get away from. And one of those being this whole overarching concept that we don't support our schools. Like, I just want people to get away from that. Not everybody does contribute financially. I'm not going to discredit that. I'm not going to say that that's not true. However, just because you don't financially support the school, that don't mean that you're not out actively recruiting for the school. You're not promoting the school. You're not getting people to attend the school. You're not doing other things other than directly financially contributing to the school. All those things are important because, I'm a financial contributor, but I ain't going to look at nobody who don't, but they sending kids there. You understand what I'm saying? Like, or they're educating them about the benefits of coming there. So, everybody has different seasons and different spaces in life. So you can't expect everybody to be on the same page all the time. But this overarching.
Oh, wow. You dropped, my boy. My bad. It wasn't me, though. I didn't do that. You dropped. Hey, Smash, coming to you.
Scotty, son, what's crazy is another moment. I parked right there by that Yukon.
You lying.
Man, Scotty, I remember to the peak of that bitch. They were jamming. So that motherfucker had like 26 Fuzziatos on that bitch, and it had like 3 sets of jackhammers in that mother. Son, I said this bitch is fire, and they had the lights in that bitch. Then right next to right next to it, they had two 2008 Monte Carlos. Listen, I parked right in the back. I said, "Yeah, park this spot," and they were barbecuing. The guy said, "You good? You good?" So, Scotty, I literally walked through that shit, and the fact that you sitting up here just talking about it, and me, I did not have a problem. I felt like I was back at home in the second line or something. That shit is funny. That shit is funny. But you didn't even seem scared in there, though, Scotty. I walked right by y'all like it never was going on the whole time. You had time.
Listen, I wasn't scared until we were leaving. And when I was leaving, it was looking real sketchy because you got to walk through those neighborhoods to get back to your car. And it was a lot, it's just a lot.
Right.
There was a lot of locals and natives just chilling in their yard. And I'm like, man, I need a strap. You know what I'm saying? As my boy said, I need a blicky. I need a blicky.
That's crazy. I know, dude. It's like I wish they could be there to see that environment, son. That motherfucker. When you describe it, that it makes it so much worse because I think it's just bad that I didn't see a problem with nothing that was going on. Hey, your ass is telling me everything. I was like, yeah, he is right. They you had to park in the neighborhood. They got a couple of junkies saying this parking lot open. Whole damn, they don't own this parking lot. They just trying to give them this lot with grass. They trying to get some money to park right there. So I definitely feel exactly what you're saying, Scott. That's just funny because I remember that Yukon. That bitch was a 2006 Yukon, and that bitch had the 40 out on that bitch.
It was jumping. That drink was so loud, it was ridiculous. Hey, appreciate the call, Smash. Hey, man, listen, what they say, one people's trash is another man's treasure. Like, and listen, and I want to be very clear. I got family from the South, okay, deep South. I got family in Savannah. I got family in Texas. My cousins have had 220s and 210s and 612s and all that stupid stuff in their car. I've never been a fan of it. I mean, stuff so loud and rumbling, your chest feel like it's about to, your heart feel like it's pumping overdrive because you can't, your ears feel like they about to bust. You can't even hear the music. It's like, come on, bro. Like, who wants to listen? Give me the acoustics. All right. Give me some Bose speakers. I don't want 4 10s and I can barely hear the song because the trunk rattling. You're like, that stuff is so stupid. So stupid. Sorry. 4028. We're going off track, but God, dog. What's up, man?
My bad, my call dropped.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. And side note though, I know Smash ain't talking. He from Baton Rouge down there, Baton Rouge, New Orleans. They cannot talk about nobody being in the trap. So I know Smash felt at home, so it's okay. It's good. But like I was saying though, for real though, we got to stop that overarching narrative. Like, people aren't contributing to their schools, even though they may not all be doing it the same way. We're all contributing back to some degree, and that's most HBCU alums that I do know. And the other only small little tidbit I did want to add is, and I understand, the thing that you've been pushing. You know what I'm saying? HBCUs, we got to change. And you know what I'm saying? And criticism is good. That's how you get said change. But at the same time, too, it's all about context, too. So, I don't want to be the one to keep regurgitating points, but, we got a lot of ground to make up. Some of that's our fault. Some of it's not our fault. You know what I'm saying? So, with stuff like that, got to have patience. It ain't going to happen overnight.
Facts.
So that's all I really want to say, man. But I appreciate it, man. Good job. Do your thing.
Hey, no problem, man. Listen, that dog, that stuff is so ridiculous. Let me tell you, man. Listen, my cousin Jazz, right? My cousin Jazz. And he probably watching this. If he's not, I don't care. My uncle Timmy used to have this. He had a Ford Red Ranger, right? And if anybody knows about those old school, like 1990, 2004 Rangers, like they had the front seat and then they had the little fold out seat on the side in the back. It wasn't really a cab, but you just had the little fold out. You never want, it's like sitting riding, it's like riding bitch. Everybody knows what riding bitch is. But it's like, when it folds out on the side so you can fold it back up and fold. So yeah. So we be in that little Ford Ranger. He took this, he folded the seats up, right? And literally built, listen to me, right? Literally built a subwoofer, right? Like the base to hold it. He had two 12s and 2 10s built into this wooden monstrosity, you know what I'm saying, in the back of the seat. So literally, I'm the passenger, right? Here, and then you got this big wooden monstrosity right behind us. He from the country. They be using power tools and stuff like that. He built a box. You Southerners know what I'm talking about. He built a box, right, to hold his subs or whatever, right? We would be driving. Let me. I can't even remember. Let me see some of the. Let me see one of the songs he would play. Oh, listen. Let me see.